Hi everyone, you're welcome to Best Science Brain YouTube. So today we're trying to look at the solution to WAEC 2023 May-June chemistry examination. As you can see it on the screen, whether you're a student, you're a teacher, or you're a prospective student, subscribe to this channel. Kindly subscribe to the channel, please. The first question says, with the following laws or theory cannot be explained by the application of kinetic theory of gases? A. Dalton's law atomic theory. B. Charles' law. C. Euler's law. D. Boyle's law. The answer is Dalton's atomic theory. All the other laws, B, C, D, are based on gas laws. So the answer to number 1 is A. Number 2, the primary component of natural gas is, the answer to that question is methane. C. Methane is a primary component of natural gas which is obtained from decay of organic matter. Number 3, thermal cracking of alkanes usually A. involves decomposition, B. is an exothermic process, C. produces only small alkanes, D. requires hydrogen. The answer to the question is A. It involves decomposition. As you can see in the illustration, C 17H36. So we're coming. So in this illustration, this is cracking of a cane. You can see the heptadecane being cracked into octane, 18, and propene. So that involves decomposition reaction. Number 4, carbon deposited in the exhaust pipes of cars because A. Contamination of petrol, B. Presence of carbon in the petrol, C. Presence of additives, and D. Incomplete combustion of petrol. The answer number 4 is D. Incomplete combustion of petrol. Number 5 says, how many moles of copper will be deposited by passing 1 Faraday of electricity through copper 2 chloride? So the answer to the question is we are trying to get the answer to this question. So the answer to the question is C, 0.5 mole of copper. From the equation here, we can see 1 mole of copper divided by 2 electrons. That is 2 Faraday gave us 1 mole of copper. Therefore, 1 Faraday, it will give us 1/2, giving us 0.5 moles of copper. So that's the answer, 0.5 mole of copper obtained. Option C is the right answer to that question. Number 6, alkanes can be manufactured by A. addition of hydrogen to unsaturated vegetable oil, B. the cracking of hydrocarbons, C. polymerization of reactions, D. combustion of alkanes. The answer to the question is A. No, is B. Alkenes are obtained by cracking of hydrocarbons. Number 6 is B. Number 7, petrochemistry is an example of applied chemistry. That is similar to industrial chemistry. Number 8, species that occur in a reaction pathway but not in the overall reaction are known as. They are known as reaction intermediates. Option D is the right answer. Number 9, the following statement is correct. A, an alkane with 49 carbon atoms contain 100 hydrogen atoms. B, addition reaction occurs between alkanes and chlorine. C, butane has lower boiling point than propane. D, pentane has 5 isomers. The answer to the question is option A. An alkane with 49 carbon atoms contain 100 hydrogen atoms. How do we prove that? We know that the general formula of alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. So looking at the solution here, we now have the general formula of alkane, CnH2n plus 2. Replacing n with 49, we now have 2 times 49 plus 2. That gives us 100. C, 49, 100. So an alkane that has 49 carbon atoms must have 100 hydrogen atoms. The answer to the question is A. Going to number 10. The best indicator to use in the titration of ethanoic acid and sodium hydroxide is A, methyl red, B, methyl orange, C, phenolphthalein, D, scream methyl orange. The correct answer to the question is phenolphthalein, option C, because the reaction involves a weak acid and a strong base. Going to number 11, the reduction half equation of the reaction is, in that reaction, we see that copper has been reduced from copper 2 here to 0. So the right answer to that reaction is B. Copper 2 getting 2 electrons give us ordinary copper. B. Number 12, if 100 cm cube or cubic centimeter of solution of sodium sulfate at 30 degrees Celsius contains 10.5 grams of the salt, what will be its solubility at this temperature? The answer to the question is C. How to prove our solution? We'll work on it now. In a few minutes, the answer will appear. So, we'll apply the formula for solubility to solve it. So let's go to the solution right now. So the solution to the question, the formula for solubility can be used: mass over molecular mass equal to concentration times volume over 1000. So having done that, mass over molecular mass equal to concentration times volume over 1000, making C the subject of the formula, and then substituting the value of mass 10.5 times 1000 all over 100 times 142, the molecular mass of the substance. The 1000 there is to convert the volume to dn cube. Solving, we have 0.74. Okay, now going to question number 13. An example of a crystalline substance that doesn't contain or possess water of crystallization is option A. We have potassium triiodonitrate 5, B, sodium triiodocarbonate 4, C, iron 2 thiosulfate 6, D, sodium thiosulfate 6. The compound there that doesn't contain water of crystallization is A. B can contain water of crystallization. That is when B can contain 10 molecules of water, which is otherwise known as washing soda. C can contain 7 molecules of water, otherwise known as green vitriol. And also D can contain 8 molecules of water. Number 14 says the salt solution formed when a reaction between ethanoic acid and sodium hydroxide will be, the salt solution is going to be alkaline or basic. Option A is the right answer, because the salt is a normal salt formed from a weak acid and a strong base. So when it undergoes hydrolysis, it's going to give us an alkaline solution. The salt is sodium ethanoate. Going to number 15, the following reaction represents the hydrolysis of an alkanoid. An alkanoid is an ester. So the right answer to that question is, going through the options, is option C. You see that C is an ester. The ester there is a ethyl ethanoate. Ethyl ethanoate with water. In the place of acid, use ethanoic acid and ethanol. Option C is the answer for number 15. Going to number 16, the following statements about collision theory is correct. The right answer: A, all collision bring about reaction. No. B, rate of reaction is proportional to the number of effective collision. C, collision of molecules will split the molecules to react. D, ineffective collision brings about chemical reaction. Answer is B, rate of reaction is proportional to the number of effective collision. Going to number 17, says, why are H2SO4 and calcium chloride not stable for drying ammonia? A, they are corrosive. B, they are poisonous. C, they react with the gas. D, they pollute the gas. Why are H2SO4 and calcium chloride not stable for drying ammonia? The right answer to that question is C, they react with the gas. H2SO4 react with the gas to form ammonium sulfate, while calcium chloride react with the gas to form a complex of ammonia. So going to number 18, the following does not illustrate correctly one of the reactions of chlorine. The answer to the question in number 18 is C. Why is C the answer? Fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, so chlorine cannot displace fluorine. So the answer number 18 is C. Go to number 19. How many unpaired electrons are there in ion 3 ion? We're going to look at it and then summarize, get the solution. 1s2, 2s2, they get that the ion is 26. Writing electronic configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, that gives us 18. Then we'll have a 4s2, 3d6. So for ion 3, we're going to have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 3d5. The answer to the question on number 19 is D. There are 5 unpaired electrons in ion 3 ion. Let's look at the answer to the question. Ion is having one. Look at ion, the EC, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, the neutral ion, 3s2, 3p6, 3d6, and 4s2. Ion 3, we think about we are going to remove 3 electrons, 2 from 4s and 1 from 3d, giving us 3d5. And the d orbital, the d sub-energy level, has 5 degenerate orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Going by the Horn's rule, electrons will enter the orbital singly before pairing. So we have exhausted number. We have 5 unpaired electrons in ion 3 ion. So number 20, going down group 2 in the periodic table. Normally, A, chain effect decreases. B, melting point increases. C, ionization energy increases. D, electronegativity increases. The answer is B, melting point increases. Because as we go down the group, the atomic mass increases. 21, with the following elements has its valence electrons in the s orbital. The answer to the question is A, sodium is an s block element. Number 22, the periodic property that is used to determine whether a covalent molecule is polar or not is electronegativity. The 22, the answer is C. 23, The following steps are scientific methods except A. Analysis, B. Open-mindedness, C. Experimentation, D. Problem identification. The answer is B. Open-mindedness has no business with scientific method. 24. Isoelectronic species have the same number of A. Electrons, B. Neutrons, C. Protons, D. Ions. The answer to this question is A, because iso means the same or similar. So isoelectronic means atom that has the same number of electrons. A. 25 says an element S has two isotopes, S65 and S6530 and S6630, relative abundance of 60% and then 40%. We also determine the relative atomic mass of S. Option A, we have a 66.00. Option B, option A has 65.00. Option B, we have 65.40. Option C, 65.50. Option D, 66.00. The answer is B, 65.40. Looking at the solution to the problem, we can see the RAM obtained by multiplying the relative abundance of each isotope 6% by the atomic mass, 65 plus 40 over 100 times 66, which is the atomic of the second isotope. So summing everything together, solving out, we have 65.40. So the answer is option B. Going to number 26. The pair of compounds that belong to the same homologous series is, the answer to that question is option D, C2H6, C4H10. C2H6 is ethane, while C4H10 is butane. Both are alkanes. 27. A consequence of global warming is, the answer to the question 27 is flooding. A, because global warming, which is greenhouse effect, leads to melting of polar ice cap, leading to flooding. 28. With the following gases has the lowest rate of diffusion. So gases with high molecular mass will have low rate of diffusion. So if you look at the problem, the one that had the highest molecular mass will be the most will be the one that had the lowest rate of diffusion. Nitrogen is N2, 14 times 228. Ammonia, NH3 will give us 17. Oxygen will give us 32. Methane will give us 16. So the answer is C, oxygen, because it has the highest molecular mass. Number 29, the gas that is less dense than air is, the gas that is less dense than air is, going to number 29, the gas with the less than air is option A, we have carbon dioxide, B, nitrogen, C, chlorine, and D, oxygen. The answer to the question is B. A gas is less than air when the molecular mass is less than the density of air. The density of air is approximately 28.9, and the molecular mass of nitrogen is 14 times 228. So nitrogen is less dense than air. So the answer to number 29 is option B. Number 30, with the following equimolar solutions have the highest conductivity. This question is based on electrolysis, electrolytes. So strong electrolytes conduct current more than weak electrolytes. So we screen off A, we remove D, because the A and D are weak acids, and that means they are weak electrolytes. So B and C remaining. B and C are strong electrolytes because B is a strong acid and C is a strong alkali. So looking at the options, 30 is B, because when H2O4 ionizes, it produces 2 moles of ion and 1 mole of sulfate ion. While NOH gives us only 1 mole of sodium and 1 mole of hydrogen. So H2O4 will give us more ions on ionization compared to sodium hydroxide. So number 31, what takes place at the cathode during electrolysis? Do electrolysis, the reaction at the cathode is called reduction, which is where cations go to gain electrons. So answer to number 31 is C. Cations are discharged do electrolysis by gaining electrons. Number 32 says how many grams of sodium hydroxide would be needed to produce 100 cm cube of 0.20 mole per dm cube sodium hydroxide. Looking at the problem, the answer to that question is A 0.02, B 0.8, C 20.0 gram, and D 800 gram. The answer to the question is 0.08. Let's see where we can get the answer as speedy as we can. So, having the substitution, we have 0.2 times volume, which is 100, molecular mass 40 over 1000. So, here is the answer. So the answer is there, right here for us. So we have from here, the molecular mass over molar mass equal to concentration times volume over 1000. Making mass the subject to the formula, mass becomes CV times 1000. The concentration is 0.2, volume is 100 cm cube times molar mass is 40 over 1000. For 1000, solving out, we have mass as 0.8 gram of sodium hydroxide. So going to number 32, the formation of a bond between hydrogen and highly electronegative L atoms results in A. Polarity, B. Dipole, C. Metallic bond, D. Electrovalent bond. The answer to the question is polarity. It results into a polar molecule being formed. So 33 is option is A, that's the right answer. 34, the molecule that has a non-polar bond is A, water, C, HCl, C, B, HCl, C, ammonia, D, chlorine. The molecule that has a non-polar bond there is D, that is chlorine. Number 35 says which of the following elements in the table below will react more readily with chlorine? We know that chlorine is a very electronegative element, a halogen, and will combine mainly with a metal, most readily with a metal. And metals are known to have low ionization energy. So if you take a close look at the table, we see that W and S are metal because they have very low ionization energy. So W and S are the metals, and they will likely react with chlorine. So the answer to the question is A, W, and S only. Number 36, the relative molecular mass of a gaseous hydrocarbon is 30. Determine the vapor density. We know that molecular mass is 2 times vapor density. So how do we now find the vapor density? That means the density is going to be half of the molecular mass. So molecular mass over 2. So that becomes 30 over 2, giving us 15. The answer to the question is A. That is, molecular mass is 2 times vapor density. So since we're given the molecular mass, to get the density, divide the molecular mass by 2. You have 15. Number 37, consider the reaction equation. We have that sulfur 6 oxide decomposing to sulfur oxide and oxygen, enthalpy change plus 198 kJ per mole. The answers with the following statements about the reaction is correct. So going up there is correct. A, the reaction is exothermic. B, the reaction container would feel warm. B, 198 kJ of energy is given off. And C, 198 kJ of energy is absorbed. The answer is, okay, there's a little mistake in the A, the reaction is exothermic. B, reaction would be the reaction container will feel warm. This should be C, 198 kJ of energy is given off, and this should be D, 198 kJ of energy is absorbed. The answer is D, the last one there, because the reaction is endothermic. So going to number 38, says which of the following properties does not give evidence of the kinetic theory of matter. The kinetic theory of matter says that particles of matter are in a state of continual motion. So A, evaporation, B, diffusion, C, polarization, D, melting. The answer is C, because other processes show that matter is in a state of motion, constant motion. 39. A compound that could be dry with concentrated testosterone acid and not calcium oxide is likely to be, since the drying agent involved there is an acid, A, an alkaline gas, B, neutral gas, C, represent salt, D, an acid anhydride. So the answer should be D, an acid anhydride, because a drying agent should not react with the compound it's being dried with. Number 40, positive ions in a sea of electron cloud are found in, that is metallic bond. A, covalent bond, B, dirty bond, C, ionic bond, D, metallic bond. The answer is D, metallic bond. 41. Dilute triode nitrified acid does not produce hydrogen when it reacts with metals because A, is a strong oxidation agent, B, it reacts with a product, C, there is no meso reaction, D, it is highly corrosive. The answer to the question is A, is a strong oxidizing agent. Instead of getting hydrogen gas when you react with metal, it's going to form water. Then number 42 says, how many moles are there in 3.0 gram of ozone? The answer to the question is option D. Mole is mass over molecular mass. The molecular mass of ozone is 16 times 3, giving us 48. Number of moles becomes 3 grams over 48, giving us 0.0625 mole. As you can see in the solution here, mole, mass over molar mass, molecular mass of ozone 16 times 3, 48. Then mole now become 3 grams over 48, giving us 0.0625 mole of ozone. Okay, coming back to our system, we'll now go to number 43. That says copper 2 ions are able to participate in coordinate bonding because A, they are colored, B, have unpaired electrons, C, have vacant d orbitals, and E, are positively charged. The answer to the question is D, they have vacant d orbitals. 44. Determine the volume of 0.100 mole of HCl in 0.025 mole per dn cube of mole per dn solution. So the answer to the question is D. Option A, 20 cm cube, B is 100, C is 200, and D is 400. So let's try to show the solution to this problem. Volume becomes, getting the answer quick as fast as we can, 0.1 times 1000 all over 0.25. That gives us 400. So looking at the solution, mole is concentration times volume over 1000. Then making volume the subject. Number of moles is 0.1 times 1000. Then concentration is 0.25. Solving it, we have 400 cm cube. So the answer is D to number 44. 45 says, the following statements about gases is correct. A, the total kinetic energy of gas is not affected by collision. B, molecules of gas are in constant motion. C, gases have low densities compared to solids and liquids of equal mass. And then D, gases are highly soluble in water at high pressure. So let's go through the options again. They say the following about gases is correct. So the answer to the question is B. Molecules of gas are in constant motion. That is true. So going to number 46. Arrange the following compounds in decreasing order of their boiling point. We have ammonia, we have hydrogen fluoride, we have silicon hydride, we have methane in decreasing order, that is from the highest boiling point to the lowest boiling point. The answer to the question is C. Why is the answer C? If you look at hydrogen fluoride and ammonia, their molecules possess hydrogen bonding, while silicon hydride and methane possess covalent bond. So hydrogen bonded molecules normally have high boiling point. So we have ammonia and HF with high boiling point due to hydrogen bond. Then how do we distinguish the two? Which one will have a higher boiling point? The molecular mass of HF is 19. The molecular mass of ammonia is 17. The one that has the higher molecular mass will have a higher boiling point since they contain similar kind of bond. So HF will be higher compared to ammonia. Then going to silicon hydride and methane, the two of them possess covalent bond. Silicon tetrahydride have a higher molecular mass compared to methane. So silicon hydride will have a higher boiling point than methane. So the answer is C. That justifies the answer. 47. The following statements are correct except A. Energy is released when liquid change to solids. B. Particles move faster in gaseous state than in liquid state. C. Carbon atoms in gaseous molecules are further apart than those in solid diamond. D. There is a large decrease in volume of solid metal when pressure is applied to it. So the answer to this question is D. D is not correct because pressure has no effect on solids. Now 48, the vapor density of organic compound with molecular mass of that C2H4O2 is, the answer to that question is 30. To work it out, we have to find the molecular mass of the compound first. So 12 times 2 for carbon, 4 times 1 for hydrogen, 16 times 2 for oxygen. When we solve this, we'll be getting 60. Vapor density is molecular mass over 2. Divide 60 by 2, we now have 30. So let's look at the answer. So the compound begins towards here. We find the molecular mass of the compound using the atomic masses. Carbon is 12 times 2 atoms. 1 for hydrogen times 4. Oxygen 16 times 2 gives 60. Then density is molecular mass over 2 divided by 2, have 30 as our answer to the question. Then number 49 says a mixture containing two salts or different solubility can be separated by two salts or different solubility can be separated by A. Chromatography, B. Distillation, C. Crystallization, and D. Evaporation. The correct answer to this question is crystallization. Number 50, the separation technique that is available for separating iodine from tetrachloromethane is, so then A. Solvent extraction, B. Fractional distillation, C. Decantation, and D. Filtration. Iodine from tetrachloromethane can be separated by B. Fractional distillation. So, having done that, we are done with the solution for May-June 2023 WAEC examination chemistry. So you can figure out what you scored or how you perform in the examination. And with this, you can also prepare for your NECO examination. As you take as a revision to prepare for your NECO or for that examination. So stay glued to Best Science Brain. Hit the subscription button, subscribe to the channel so that whenever we post videos here, it will get to you without waste of time. Thank you very much for listening.